All right, guys, it's your boy Jay Jizzle back again, and it is that season. It is that time again, and I have been really holding back. It's to make sure it's football season. By the way, this is my Texans rant as I walk home and I'm contemplating things. All right, Texans. My thought processes. Realistically, if everything truly goes our way, and I mean everything, like our defense, or at least our pass rush is as stout as it is, the defensive backs with the help of the addition of Jonathan Joseph back in the mix, and Brian Cushing, a healthy Brian Cushing in the back end, could actually be quite stout. And with the offense, with a healthy Andre Johnson, a hopefully healthy for all year long Arian Foster, and DeAndre Hopkins showing some promise, even with Fitzpatrick, that quarterback, this team can go 9-7. I am here to give hope to Texans fans. And 9-7 this year, as wide open as the AFC is beyond the inevitable Peyton Manning and the Broncos getting the number 1 seed, with the Patriots most likely getting the number 2 seed, is pretty much wide open. And we are in what helps us is we are in the AFC South, even with Mr. Luck, who did get lucky a lot last year. He held true to his name. There's got to be some regression to the mean for that team. Because Peyton, Peyton's really the only person I truly know that him by himself can make your team extremely dominant. I don't think Luck is at Peyton Manning status yet. He might get there, but he's not there yet. And I think this year, teams are going to start catching up to the Colts. So our division is actually winnable at 9-7, I do believe. Now, this is why I think 9-7 is possible. Because for short spurts, Fitzpatrick sometimes actually looks like an NFL quarterback. He does have the Schaub syndrome. He will throw interceptions at bad times, and we're going to have to deal with that. Personally, though, I would like to see Case Keenum. I think Keenum would do a better job, and it would help to really make me feel really good about a 9-7 season happening. But we have way too much talent on it. Even Fitzpatrick can't screw all of it up. We're going to be relying heavily on you, Mr. Foster. It is time to show why you are, in my opinion, one of the best 4 backs in the league when healthy. To be honest, I don't think there's anybody better than you except for Mr. Adrian Peterson. Some would say Shady McCoy, but the fact that you have much more power in him and size, I give you advantage because you have just as much wiggle if people pay attention. That's neither here nor there. You're gonna get your yards. You're gonna earn your money this year if you're healthy. Although I am liking Alfred Blue, my boy Blue. All right. Now let's get to offensive line. Mr. Brandon Brooks is back, but even while he was gone, Ben Jones and Suo-Filo, I believe that is how you say his name, looked very good in preseason. And yes, it's preseason, but they showed lots of promise. Dwayne Brown is most definitely back. Derek Newton, oh, please tell me that this coaching staff can actually make you into a serviceable tackle. If not, Ryan Clabo or whoever, please shore up right tackle, okay? Either make Newton look somewhat decent so he's not a turnstile or something. But that's really the only problem area I can see. because with Brandon Brooks back, and him, if he's back to Brandon Brooks level, we have very good interior line play, especially with Mr. Chris Myers leading that charge. I'm a Chris Myers fan, and I always have been since he came here. Okay, so we're good with the offensive line. Offensive line, especially in the run game, looks to have the pieces to be a dominant line. All right, we're gonna be physical. We're gonna go back to Steelers, Baltimore type offense where we're about to pound it down your throat and play some defense. But when we do decide to pass, there are pieces there. DeAndre Hopkins is the real deal. He is the heir apparent, and he keeps working hard, and he's quite humble. Two qualities that having Andre Johnson as his mentor most definitely were affected. And Andre Johnson, thank you for being the consummate professional and coming in and working, all right, and showing that you actually love this city and this team, even though they should have found a way to give you that $1 million back. And I think behind the scenes they probably did. But we're neither here nor there. On the field, Andre Johnson, there is no better receiver than him. And I even beg to say that Megatron isn't better. He may be slightly more physical dominant. Slightly, I say, because if people truly know about Mr. Andre Johnson, they know that man's a beast. But here's where Andre Johnson beats Mr. Megatron. Optimus Prime beats Megatron all the time. But in this is where Optimus Prime really works. He knows how to run routes. Megatron just uses his physical gifts, as extraordinary as they are. That's all he really uses. He's not a great route runner if you break him down. Andre Johnson, most definitely, the fact that he wears number 80 is solidified and justified because he is most definitely our version of Jerry Rice. And the fact that he didn't get more touchdowns in the Schaub era is still a mystery to me, but whatever. Don't y'all ever sleep on Andre Johnson. And every time you say he can't do it, he always finds a way to show you, what's my name? All right? So, in my opinion, really, at the very worst, the second best receiver in the league. No offense to Mr. Des Bryant, but you haven't done it quite as long as Andre Johnson, in my opinion, when you put his whole body of work together, the best receiver in the league. And I like our collection of tight ends. For Mr. I want to say it's Fedorowicz. No, that's the backup center. No, that's Ferenc. No, I'm for CJ Fedorowicz. He seems like a very good pickup. That boy, while he didn't make a lot of catches at Iowa, that boy can catch the ball and he can block. He's a all-around tight end. He's not Gronk. His physical stature matches him with Gronk, and his blocking stature and the fact that he can catch, those are similarities, but he's not the freak that Gronk is, but he doesn't need to be. When you get the ball, or the ball's thrown to you, catch it. And he does that. And I do like Mr. Graham. And I'm not sure about Mr. Griffin, don't see much of him, but I liked Graham last year, and he looks good in this offense this year. So we have weapons to work with. Oh, and by the way, while I'm not completely sold on Mr. O'Brien, he's actually made something out of Mr. Martin, Keyshawn Martin, and I do like that in Nwachu, I'm probably butchering his name, but the young receiver that's been showing up, I don't know much about Mr. Labhart, but we seem to actually have a nice chance at slot receiver this year. Okay, that's just on the offensive side of the ball. There's pieces there to work with that we can actually be a somewhat relevant offense. Now let's get to the point of where you actually have true hope for these Texans, the defense. And it all starts with two very special talents in the front line. If you guys haven't been paying attention or have been under a rock this preseason, Clowney, in just 2 preseason games already, with the third one coming tonight, I'm very eager to see, Clowney has basically showed why he was the correct choice at number 1. Oh my, this boy is a true freak. Not the supposed freak that everybody thought you were getting with Mario Williams that never really truly showed up except for those 5 games when he first got with Mr. Wade Phillips. No, this is the real deal McCoy, Mr. Clowney. Twice this preseason I've seen him try to recreate that hit in Michigan. And he already showed how he can blow past the tackle before the tackle even knew what was hitting him and get back to the quarterback. And the Texans have been most definitely, here's our secret weapon. We're just giving you a preview of it. And Watt is just Watt. He's Watt. And you can't just focus on him anymore with Clowney there. Merciless. I am so disappointed. So disappointed. I was hoping you would step up so we could move Mr. Brooks Reed inside. But since we're going to go with linebackers and talk about inside linebackers, Mr. Tuggle, you are making your father proud. I like you. Tarpinian has done a decent job in Mr. Cushing's place, but I am hoping that the starting inside linebackers are Tuggle and Cushing, with Brooks Reed being a stout run defender on the outside and clowning dudes on the other side. That's who I hope is our starting 4. Now, we're going to get to the part of the defense that does have me worried. Kareem Jackson seems to have slightly regressed in a defense that is going to focus a little bit more on playing more zone and not as much press man, which I think he was kind of built for. They should put him more in press man, and he's better at it. But, you know, I hope, just like with the last coaching staff, he takes to the teaching and gets a bit better with his technique. I'm eager to see what Jonathan Joseph is going to look like in this defense. I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping he's closer to 2012 Joseph than 2013. Really more like 2011 Joseph. That would be awesome. But once again, he's also not going to be in press man a lot, something he also excels at. I'm not really sure what to say about Mr. Romeo Crennel's defense yet. And this is the reason why. It's the next level. The defense, the safeties. Now, last game, Mr. Lewis showed up and showed why his connection with Mr. Crennel is most definitely important. He seemed a bit more comfortable in a defense that he has played in before. Not really seeing Clemens show up very much, but still, it's good to have another veteran safety, because DJ Swearinger, while he does have swag, and I do like that energy he brings to the secondary, he does not look good in space. Coverage, we already knew coming out of college, really wasn't his specialty, but he seems to be a bit more exposed in this defense that requires that when you are playing your dime package with 3 safeties, that the position he plays, which is the safety that is normally closest to the line, while he's good in run support in these formations, he's not so great in coverage. But he will lower the boom. I mean, will lower the boom. That is enough to justify him being in the lineup, because when he does make the right read, and he comes with all of that swag, eating all of his Campbell's soup, he will hit you. I do like that, because this year, that's what this defense is going to have to do. Intimidate, dominate, and they have the capability to do so, especially in the front seven. You can mask some deficiencies in coverage if your front seven is a beast every week. You know J.J. Watt's going to bring it every week, and Clowney looks like he's taking to Watt much like Hopkins took to Johnson. That is my ray of hope for this team. This defense can carry us to 9-7, especially with a very weak schedule. The fact that we play 6 games in the AFC South, and we're having a last place schedule from last year, and we play the NFC East, which in and of itself doesn't look very strong. That's 10 games against subpar opponents. Even the Colts don't scare me. They don't. Mr. Luck doesn't scare me when I can counter Watts and Clowney. And that offensive line that's in front of him will have him running all season. 9-7 is possible. This team can surprise the league, and I think they want to. They're starting to buy into Mr. Bill O'Brien. Now, Mr. O'Brien, this is my challenge to you, because I haven't really seen much out of Savage yet, but I realize he's only played 1 full year of football in the last 4. So he is a project. But if you're such a quarterback whiz, how about you let Keenum be the hometown hero? I know he's a little bit slow on the uptick of this very complicated offense, but I have no doubts that if you are the quarterback whiz that you are, and once he does finally get it, I mean, you want to put people in shotgun anyway. I think he's better at it than Fitzpatrick. It's what he did at U of H, and he has, to me, better rapport with these receivers already from last year. He showed flashes he can do it. How about you take him to the pinnacle of his abilities? You might be pleasantly surprised. Mr. Bill O'Brien, he could be your Tom Brady. Oh, he may not be quite as big, but he's most definitely more athletic. And he's just as gung-ho. He may not necessarily have the Yankee pretty boy looks of Brady, but he's a Texas down Texas boy. We like him rough down here. I like his attitude. He can be infectious to the team, much like he was last year. But if we're going to go with Fitzpatrick, you went to Harvard, and you have a little bit of a gunslinger mentality. You're always trying to prove people wrong. Don't do that too much. How about we just run the offense? Okay? Do that. Just score some easy points. Let the defense keep you in the game. Wait till the 4th quarter for your Amish rifle magic, if you have any left. But your leash should be very short. Because I got to tell you, right now, people are wanting Keenum, and they have for a long time. And why not? He's from Houston. I'm about my city. Okay? But we'll deal with what we actually have right now, which is Fitzpatrick. Show me something, Fitzpatrick. Stop allowing me to call you Fitzpatrick. Make me eat my words. I promise to make another video. You actually looked somewhat decent against the Falcons. Can you keep that up for 16 games this season? Because if you can, then we will go 9-7. That would be awesome. Oh, and by the way, how about chucking it deep every so often just to keep the defense honest? And if you're not feeling Mr. Nuke, that's DeAndre Hopkins' nickname, guys, if you don't know. We need to start going Nuke when he makes a big play. But I digress. If you're not feeling Hopkins deep, you sure better see Mr. Andre Johnson deep. Check his stats. That boy is the real deal. Get him the frickin' ball. Andre Johnson's too nice to really say it. He's not a T.O. He's not a Randy Moss. He doesn't have a catchphrase in terms of a touchdown dance. He doesn't do the namaste like Arian Foster. He just goes out and balls. Get that boy the ball. Oh, and finally, I've pretty much covered both offense and defense. Oh, and by the way, I did not cover nickelback cornerback, which is a very important position in today's NFL. Brandon Harris needs to be fired tomorrow. He is a failed draft choice. It happens. Andre Howell, on the other hand, and no, screw you, Josh Victorian. He's not showing me anything either. No. But the cat you guys drafted in, I believe, the 5th or 6th round, Andre Howell, yes, he has earned it. He has earned it. He's a rookie. He's going to make rookie mistakes. But he's the closest thing that you guys really have to a third corner that can actually cover someone. And he's feisty too. He fits right in with what we're trying to do. Okay, so defense has been thoroughly covered, I think. Special teams. Keyshawn, just as returning. We already know about Leckler, and I'll get to kicker in a moment. But return, now the actual special teams themselves, all facets, punt block, punt return, the 10 other guys besides the returner have shown me that they are ready to compete. I like it. Let's keep going. On kickoff, let's lower the boom on these returners. Let's not be an embarrassment in those aspects. But special teams is usually highlighted really by two dudes, although on our team, Shane Leckler is most definitely the best punter in the game today. Our version of Ray Guy. Loving it. All right, Shane, you good with me. Have nothing to say to you. Keep pinning them back. Okay. I was kind of hoping that Mr. Joe Adams might show something. He didn't. Mike Thomas shows promise, if for nothing else. He's actually shown he does have 4.3 speed, at least with our team. So I don't know what was going on in Jacksonville or wherever he was before, but he's shown he's got speed. I hate to say it, but I trust Keyshawn Martin more because I know at least he won't fumble. He's just not dynamic. Really wish he would have never let go of Trendon Holiday. Yeah, he had fumble problems, but that boy could turn the game around. But I digress. Keyshawn, we're gonna need to see Michigan State, Keyshawn, if you're going to be doing punt and kick return. Because I'm leaning more towards, if we're going to put someone back there, at least let them be speedy, which would give Mike Thomas at that very least a slot on his team, which I think he's going to make anyway. Mike is on your heels, man. If you want to keep that job, you got to show me something. Show me something. Get me excited on a return. I want to see some returns. That is the one place where we could make a game that is very close and break it open our way. You got to make a play, man. You've been actually showing up as a receiver this preseason. That's good progress. I like that. But, man, you're on this team because of your return skills. That's why you got drafted. Show me Michigan State, Keyshawn Martin. I want to see that dude. Like, I need something there. That's the one area of special teams that hasn't been very special. The actual returner. And it was one reason why I was very sad to see Mr. Daniel Manning go, because I would have liked to have actually seen him as the full season kickoff returner. He's one of the best in the league. But hey, new coaching staff, whatever. Okay, now to the kicker, Mr. A&M. Mr. Big Belly, Mr. Strong Leg, you pretty much are going to win this job by default, because the guy they brought in to replace you, wet the bed in the preseason game and missed an extra point from 33, and then missed another one. No, that's not gonna do. So you're gonna win this by default. I'm going to tell you right now, we as Texans fans, and really just as Houston fans, have been done in by our kickers more than enough. This is your third season. The first one you lost to injury. Second one, you were shaky in the beginning and showed promise at the end of last year. Time to build on that end of the year success and be a more than serviceable kicker. We are not in a position to give up any points. If we have to send you out there for 54, you're going to have to hit those. No wide left, wide right. No, oh, so close and yet so far. No. I'm going to need you to be that kicker you were at A&M, the most accurate kicker in all of NCAA. I'm going to need that to translate to the NFL order as of right now. Because there's a very good chance you're going to lead the NFL in points scored just because we may not get into the end zone and need you to kick those field goals so that those drives are not wasted. All right? And as of right now, you are still just the kicker until you establish yourself well enough that I will say your name in any of my posts. Please, do not be just the kicker. All right? Do not make me Peyton Manning you and call you the kicker. All right? Earn your name in these posts. Okay. As I said, I've given you reasons for hope. This potentially dominant defense predicated on a great pass rush and just playmaking skills by our front seven, most namely the two dominant forces known as Clowney and Watt. Like I really want to find a nickname for both of them together. Give me enough time, it will come together. But at any rate, predicated on our potentially dominant front seven, we have the potentials of a dominant defense, and the fact that we have pieces on offense that, if utilized correctly, can score you points. Maybe not necessarily in droves yet, but can score points. We're going to be in close games, and we're going to be against subpar competition for most of the season. 9-7 is possible, and I believe that 9-7 gets you into the playoffs in this year's NFL. And even if it doesn't, I would be quite proud of a 9-7. I would accept an 8-8 season, no losing season this year. If at the very least we serve notice that next year we're going to be a team to actually be reckoned with. We can actually get some decent quarterback play. Okay. That is my diatribe on my Texans today. I hope that you enjoyed my, would really like to say, thorough investigation of my hometown team. Feel free to comment below if you disagree with me. And if you're going to disagree, actually have some pertinent things to say. Don't just be a Cowboys hater. Oh, the Texans are going to suck. Because don't get me started on these Cowboys. There will be another video coming on them. I am not a fan of them, but I am a fan of the NFL. So, and it will be most definitely directed toward the Cowboys haters. At any rate, it's your boy Jay Jizzle signing out from somewhere in Katy on his sabbatical walk today. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace!